What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks Thursday night Christmas holiday edition. It is 8 p.m. It's Thursday. We've been prepping stuff, getting stuff ready for this festive painting. Been a crazy busy day. Actually, I gotta move my camera down just a little bit here. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right. Hopefully you got good sound. We got good picture. Looks that way on my end. So we got Facebook going on, and we have YouTube, as always, going on. With the feeds are looking good, except for that little glitch right there that I just saw. But hopefully that doesn't keep happening. All right, so hopefully it sounds good. I am recording. We are ready to go. Let's talk about our subject matter. What's going on, Gary, Brian, Amos Mendez, Brian Morgan, Darren Plank? What's going on, everyone? Make sure you share this video. Let people know we're on in case they missed it. It's been a crazy busy day. I started that hood today it's a 70 GT500, which was one of the rare ones. This is the one with like it's got the 5 air intakes on the hood, all functional. It's over at AK Rods and Customs. It's a really killer car. So I've been videoing that in the process and how I laid it out with the projector and then freehand, stuff like that. So that's going to be a cool one to have. I'll get that one going soon. Chris, what's happening? Michael, what's going on? Of course, I want to thank all my Down Dirty Tricksters for coming. Thank you all for the support and continuing this channel. And don't forget, guys, yes, you get the 25%. We've talked about that. That's still active for all you members, which we originally did 10. We went up to 25. I'm keeping it there for you guys for all the support. Tim and Luke, thanks for popping in. Hope it's going well. Happy holidays to you as well. And don't forget, like some of the chat stuff, you get the icons and images and things like that as members you can use on the channel as well. So, do you know what's going on? Hope things well in Australia. Let us know how the day is going so we're ready for tomorrow. I'm sure you guys are get sick of hearing that joke. And so we got all you guys, thank you for all the support. Don't forget, if you're not a member, join up. And our sponsors and brands that we're using, give them some love. And let's go to what we have to paint today, which is this. Let me shut that off. This is what we're doing, guys. So I don't have I wish I should have brought the original on screen, but I did bring it. I did put it up earlier in a quick short. So I did a painting of this Grinch in 2001. I've got to give you a call, a projector. I need one of those in my life. Give me a buzz. It's just a projector. It's like any movie projector. Mine's like 10 years old. It's an old Autograph. It's an old Autograph LED 1400. Great one. But what you can get now, you just want something that's clear enough for, if it can do a nice like 40 to 60 inch or 100 inch image and decent light, you're good to go. It doesn't have to be anything super high end, super crazy. Because if you get a projector that's too big, chances are you won't be able to project on like t-shirt size stuff or like hoods, because it's going to be too close and you'll never get it to focus on some of them. So you don't need a crazy big one unless you're doing like wall murals. If you're doing big wall murals, then you want something. So 2021. Did I say 2001? No. I used to paint Grinches in 2001. So yeah. So yeah, 2021 was when I did the first one. Big squash was happening. But yeah, if you want to give me a buzz, it's fine. Anything that takes an HDMI, because all I did with that projector was, all I did with that projector is I plugged an HDMI cable from my iPad into it and just projected it and then sketched right on it. So I'll do I'll do a video on it at some point. But yeah, you don't need anything crazy. Yeah, I can go over a couple different options with you. All right, so what I'm doing, and I didn't bother vectoring this And the reason why I didn't, it's easy enough to do. This wasn't really meant for like a how-to project. It's just more of a fun paint thing to do. Plus, I don't typically... I try not to do how-tos for sale that are, you know, other intellectual properties, basically. You know, I just don't want to do like manufacturing of that stuff. I try to stay away from it. But, so what I did is, took my sketch, I did the old paper, you know, soft pencil on this side. Hey, honey, got your Christmas card today. Wife and family say thank you very much. You are amongst the first ones to arrive. So thank you. So yeah, this was a 4B or 6B pencil. I think I used a 4, but you could use... this was a 6. And I just basically make my own carbon transfer paper with it. I find this is the easiest. And then I just take a pen and I just basically sketch around the image. And I'm going to make this a little easier for you. So if I sketch the eyes out and transfer, if you look, I get a nice image transfer. And the reason I like the pencil versus like Sorel is great. It's not waxy, so it doesn't like ruin your paint or anything, but it does come off pretty easy. And sometimes you airbrush and come off and your paint comes off with it. When you use graphite like this, it doesn't really smear, and it leaves a pretty nice fine line. So I just go around the whole thing and do the trace. And just basically transfer the image. Really basic, easy, simple transfer technique. And when it's done, you have the whole image there. And then what I do after the image, and I did a little TV magic. I just use either transfer tape, or you can use like FBS Gold, because it cuts real easy. You can go right over it, and you can... It's hard to see on your end, but I can see it really well. Or you can use like the conform transfer tape like we did for transferring images, and you can see through it. You just have to go down a little darker. But it's there. It's pretty easy to do. And then once I do that, then I just cut, because what I'm going to do, we talked about last week, is I'm going to paint my background first. So the magic of television, it's already done. So that's what I did. I had transferred the image, I had put the transfer tape on top, and I just basically silhouette cut it in the background. I actually cut a few other things, like the orb here, like the ball, the Christmas ball. And if you look, the one thing I didn't do, because it's better to freehand it because you're not going to cut it, is if you look at the sketch, it's got the string with a little bow. Well, I didn't transfer that or cut it out because that's just going to freehand. And that's really it. Because this is the one I want to do a background, and then I want to work the character on top of it. And you'll see why I do that. And like last week, I did the opposite. When I did the snowman, I did the snowman first, and then the background. And this way I'm going the opposite. And you'll see the reasons why and the benefits, and then you can choose which way works better for you. And honey, you rule. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. You rock. Let's talk about colors I mixed up. It's a very festive palette. We have a mix of illustration and opaque, like I often do. So we have, there's actually only one opaque, two opaques here. So I got an opaque white if I need it. I have an opaque, the lime, whatever it's called, green, like limelight green or something like that. I have a wicked yellow transparent, a wicked red transparent. Then I have a wicked green. I have a moss green, which looks black in the picture, but that's a moss green. And yep, yeah, they weren't working the other day. They started to, and then they tapped out. So what it was, I was trying to go direct and into the system, and then it was glitching out. But when I just play it on my speakers in the background, it works. It works fine. So, as we can tell. Yeah, so, yes, they're working. So I got the moss green, which is illustration moss green. And then I did 1-to-1 illustration moss green and black. because I don't want to use a solid black. I want it to have a green tint. Because what I'm going to do is, when I did the original painting, it was pretty much a black and gray with limited color on the character, and it was a bright background, very Dr. Seussy, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. Which is why I'm going this way. I'm going to do a bright green background and do some effects to it, and then he'll be mostly black and white with maybe just some color accents. So we'll see how we feel. That's the plan. That's what we're doing. Yeah. Like I wanted to go in. So basically, I came out of my computer directly into the mixer board, which was working. But if I don't have the channel turned on right, then it glitched out. It's just, yeah, it's always something whenever I try to get fancy. So went back to keeping it simple. You don't hear the cowbell. Do I? Oh, do I? I had a cowbell, and then it's gone. No, I don't have a cowbell sound. I have to find a cowbell sound. Damn it! Thanks for reminding me. Appreciate that, actually. Yeah, that was a weird glitch. Hey, I'm still getting some glitchiness. Yeah, doing it again. Oh, I don't remember what he had for the bid. I'll have to look. Yes, see, I did hit record. Thank you. Because of those glitches, everyone, I'm going to kill Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook. But I just can't rely on you. And you're messing up my stream on YouTube, which I can't have. So I apologize. Anyone watching on Facebook, please go over to the YouTube link and watch over there. It's much better because Facebook has just been really bad lately. Sorry, guys. Okay, hopefully that solves some issue and keeps the feed squeezing. Oh, rubber chicken. That can be cool. Just talked about the projector. It's just an older autograph projector. Okay, so it was just an LED 1400. So any type of projector works. It's nothing crazy. All right, so I am gonna do like a bright lime green, bright background. Oh, we got an opening bid from Mr. Gary Shees. We'll get them all going. Thank you, sir. And we'll do the yellow. Mike would have liked that one. He would have used it so much. Thank you, sir. Let me get my notepad out here. I'm going to stick that on. 175. Gary, thank you, sir. All right, so let's get this background going. I'm going to start with a bright yellow. It's mainly going to be up in here. Really not showing well on camera, so I'm not going to do too much of it. Because I'm going to do mostly a green transition to yellow. So I want to get that up here kind of first. Like I said, I used FBS Gold Mask for this stage. But you could use just any transfer tape, would work fine. How many is too many? It's never enough. You got London's got it. London's up there. Honey's got a good collection brewing. I think Warlock's got a few. Cheese Grits and Nyquil. Oh, I hate when I drop the cap. Because then I have to get off my chair. Donna Bush, what's going on? Thank you for popping in from the Great White North. You guys must be getting really cold. Probably a little snowy by now, I'd imagine. Which you got to send that snow up to us like you always do. Thank you for popping in. So this is the lime green. So the reason I'm doing this first is I'm going to be using black green on the outside when I do all the line work. So the line work can kind of come over and, you know, hide the edge of the spray out. Whereas if I did the line work first and masked, my opaque would cover the line work. And then I have to kind of go back over. That's why I'm doing it in this way. See, there's always a reason. Now I'm going with my transparent green. Oh yeah, you got the pumpkin under glass. Yep. All right, let's do some spatter. We want to have the background kind of gnarly. I'm gonna just do the old popsicle stick trick. Let's go to a side by side. Oops. There we go. So now you can see what I'm doing. So I'm using just a popsicle stick, angle off the brush. Just spraying it at it, and I'm gonna just go make it messy to start. I want just a kind of a gritty, not nice background. And you could always just do the trigger pull and spray, like we did last week for the snow. And let's do some. Do some textures here. Let's do one of my swirls. I just want the background a little funky. So I'm just, notice I'm going up the scale, so I'm using one brush, and I just keep adding darker paint as I go. It's a really fast way to work, less cleanup. We only have one airbrush, it works really nice. And that's still drying. When I put air, I can see that paint move. So I'm going to put a little funky, like Dr. Seuss type tree up in here. I think I want to grab like another green. Let's see. So I used the frog juice there, which is great. I think I want to use some apple green. Lindsay, what's going on? so this is background first, then foreground. I don't think I have enough bottles. Of what? Bottles of what? I think I made too much. What am I missing? I'm missing something. What did I miss? I'll have to go back and read. Start drinking. Okay. Speaking of bottles, I've redone my paint rack up top of other paints. All organized. Then I have my Createx up on the roller. So I have my modeling paint, more modeling paint, and then the Createx is on the roller. All nice and organized. All right. Let's see what's happening. You are making lard. Okay. How does one... I'm not if I sure want to ask that. Let me get this brighter green. Cool. So now what I want to do... I want to do a tree. Kind of Dr. Seussy. So it'll be... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut it out so it's kind of crisp first, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So I got one of these like Dr. Seuss trees. London pen. Thank you, sir. Keep it in the Christmas spirit. Love it. Need it. Today's been a long day. I started my day at 7 this morning. And I started that hood. Actually, I wonder if I can show it here. So you guys can see what I've been working on today. And I've been recording it. Where is it? So this is where I'm at right now on the hood. Yeah, no, it's going to be all red candies and stuff like that. And so I projected it. I did time lapse. I got everything done. So we got all the time lapse. So this will be a cool. I'll do some nice video clips of this. And this is on an original 70 Shelby GT500 Mustang with the air intake hoods. So it's pretty wild. Bye, go McClung. Thank you, sir. My first live tomorrow. Oh, nice, man. Let me know what time you're doing it. What's the channel? Let us know. Post a link. Go for it. All right. So I need to cut this kind of simple. Yes, I could just freehand it, but I want to get it crisp and then freehand off it. I'm trying to make the background and some of the elements really kind of Dr. Seussy. And that's why I didn't vector this, because vectoring this, I think, would kind of take away from that look. I don't want it super clean. I want it a little shaky. I want to keep that Dr. Seuss feel. Oh, Keeling, what's going on, man? Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Alright, so yeah, I want to do just a simple cut. Like I said, I did the moss green, added some of the black to it. I'm going to add... No, I don't need to add more, I just need to let it get through. Oh yeah, I remember. So I actually watched Gremlins the other day. I usually watch that every year. I actually even watched Gremlins 2. I know it's really campy and pretty lame in spots, but still gotta watch it. And we'll do a funky kind of star. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do freehand daggers like this. We'll do another one right here. We'll freehand this one. Just to make it fun. Yeah, I forget what year it was. It was the 90s. I worked at a Warner Brothers store for the Christmas season to make some side money, and they had the full size props. And man, I wanted one of those. I wanted to take one of those so bad. Because when they retired the prop, they made us destroy them. I remember we had to destroy it was like a life-size Yosemite Sam. Man, I was so mad to have to destroy it. Because they don't allow it to get out to people to buy it for whatever reasons, and IP and liability and whatever. It was really unfortunate. Cool, so I got that. We'll make it a little, we'll add some dark on there. Like I said, I just want it to be festive but dark. Okay. Switch over to this. We can see what we're all doing here. We can bring this down a little bit. Yep, love Gremlins. This is a great movie. Come on, get out of there. Start with a clear brush. Alright. I'd still love to see. Oh, I know. It's sitting right in front of me on my desk as of right now too. And I did see it the other day. Would love to do it. I'll make it happen this year. Promise. Okay. So what I'm going to do now to make myself... You know what? I am going to do the red ball while everything is still masked. And I won't worry too much about getting anything up there. I can kind of control that. Because I'm using transparent, I can kind of go over it now. And actually, this is going to be like almost like a candy apple, like Christmas ball. I wanted to make sure it didn't look too much like the apple from Snow White. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to freehand it and maybe use a little loose templating. And there's a skull there. So it's kind of like a skull ball, Christmas ball. And if I just stay just beneath the mask, I can control it and basically end up with like an edge highlight of white. And then when I do all the black line work, it's gonna be gone. It's all going to be red, even the ball here. It's basically like a red, like, wax over a red Christmas ball. So I'll try to work in the mids, and then I'll start adding dark as I do the rest. And that's the other reason I didn't vector this one. You know, it's not really a how-to follow. It's more of a watch and follow. And just kind of talk about techniques. And when I do it like a lesson, then I structure it. I usually spend like at least a full day on a lesson or more, so that way I can like really structure it so you can get all the I can explain what I'm doing. I can kind of do all the steps. So the tutorial how-tos are a little bit more involved than like what I'm doing here. We'll give him some eyes. But it's just simple. It's just registering it in. Oh, you guys haven't posted? I haven't seen anything about that. That sucks. So like if I could use a darker red here, or I could just add a touch of the black I'm doing to that red and kind of make a maroon out of it. Where's my reducer? Alright, so now what I did is I just added that black. Now I get a nice maroon. So and we'll richen this red up at the end. We'll do some highlights and it'll look make a kind of a gooey, wax-dipped, candied Christmas bulb. Yeah, this won't be the last paint of the year, I don't think. I'll probably do one more before New Year's. But the paintings I have in-house are all going out next week. And this will go with it. And that'll be it for the year. And then we'll start planning next year. Next year, I really got to focus on getting the tabletop channel up and those products. I was hoping to have all those mini discs and stuff ready to go. But just juggling too many things. Cool. So now that's kind of in place. So I can pull the rest of the mask. And go from there. Then it's going to be freehand. So I'm just going to pull this all off here. So basically when I cut the silhouette, and I'll show you, I followed along with my reference image that I sketched up. And what's exposed versus what's not, what you can see the background with. Oops. This stuff's still a little wet, because I kind of saturated it. So where I have the gray, for the most part, is where I cut out. So that's how I determined what the background was going to be. So that was my cut. And if you guys want to do this on your own, like I said, I'm not making a project out of this. You can just kind of screenshot that and follow along there. I'm going to take... Oh, nice. Very cool. I'm going to be up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to be teaching at Adepticon this year. So that's going to be cool. So that's going to be happening in March. I was actually just talking with Iwata. I'm going to be with Iwata in their New Worlds paint. I'm going to do a New Worlds paint, and we're going to be teaching tabletop mini painting and how to use airbrush and paint. It's going to be two of us. Me and Joe, I can't think of his last name. Another really talented painter. We're going to be tag teaming classes together. So it's going to be cool. So the reason this tape is peeling so much is saturated, and this is really old. I pulled out like a really old roll. So now that color background's done. I cut that, didn't need to. And there you go. So now, this is cool. It'll be a black and white image up front. Yeah, if you haven't seen it too, that's going to be lit for that's next year, or when they start it finally. There's a new series on. Hold on a second. There's a new. Whoops. Sorry. There's a new series on Amazon Prime called Secret Level. It's kind of like Blood, Sex, Robots, whatever it was, where it's all just different, it's episodes of different things. But episode 5 is a 20-minute Warhammer story, which is absolutely awesome. Are you sure that he did not use Autoborn Sealer? No, I think when he did the pen, he did a 40-50 as like a primer. but you can double check. All right. So the cool thing is now I have an edge that when I freehand, all the black line work is going to go on top of it, which is going to be cool. So it'll knock most of that out. Grab my airbrush. I'm going to put this black in. I don't think Steve's going to be on here tonight. I think he's got an art show this weekend, or they just started loading in at the Butler, so that's going to be cool. So the color I'm using is basically this black. You know what? That needs more green. I want it to be kind of a green black, so I'm going to actually put a lot more moss green in here. Because I want it to kind of be a moss green line work in blending. Because I just want that green value because it's the Grinch. I don't want to use like straight black. And I can always go up to straight black. Yeah, so now it's more that, it's like a dark moss green now, and that's what I wanted. And then we're going to drop the pressure down a little bit. And then we're just going to have some fun painting this beauty. So it's funny, like I did this last time. I used to paint the Grinch a lot when I worked at the malls. And this was in the 90s. Grinch shirts were like 20 bucks, 25 bucks even back then. And we used to do like, let's see if I can still remember, you got the nose. Like the eyes. You got the neck or whatever it was, and then this was in 1990 I was doing these. And then you'd have the hat. It looked better than this, but and then you do the color, and go. That was basically how fast we used to do. And we used to have the Grinch down full color with a name on it in 2.5 minutes. We could do the Grinch back in the day. It was pretty awesome. So now we're just gonna freehand the Grinch. So I'm doing basically like dagger stroke line work. Just kind of skeletal like bone, but I still got a couple little things in there. And then we'll shade. Yeah, if I practice it once or twice, I could probably get it down to perfect and like rendered just the way we used to do it back in the day. You did so many. The way the malls worked back then, I don't even know what they charge now for carts. But back in the 90s, and yes, I'm dating myself, those carts in the middle of the mall, you had to pay anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 up front in November for the 8 weeks of Christmas, prior to Christmas. And some of them were like they gave you the week after for free, so you could like finish up. But yeah, it was it was like $15,000 to $20,000 up front for the 8 weeks before Christmas. And that's what, that was, like I said, I don't even know what they charge now. So basically the rule was if you weren't painting a client, like a job for a customer, and you were sitting at the booth, you did stock shirts, like you did a Grinch, and you stacked them up in larges, extra larges, small, so when someone came up and wanted a Grinch, you could just pull it up, do a few extra things, and throw the name on it. So you would just sit there. If you had a free hour, you sat there and did like 20 Grinches or whatever other character. You had a bunch of what we called stock shirts that you would sit there and do, because it was, you could build inventory while also attracting people. That's where I learned how to paint live in front of people at shows, because I knew that if you painted enough things, you'd get the passerbys going, "Oh, I want a shirt. How much is the shirt?" And they'd talk to you, and they'd, it's basically marketing 101. Show them what they could have. Rob, what's going on, man? Well, you can always go back and watch. But, there's certain things we had to do all the time. Back then it was Tasmanian Devils, the Grinch, Bart Simpsons. So you just basically did a whole bunch of them and got them kind of like half done. So when someone came up and wanted one, you could knock them out even faster. You'd have the Grinch shirt, you'd throw a name on it, a couple of starbursts, and the minute that thing's out. No, if you look really close where I'm painting, by the time I'm done, those pencil marks are gone, because I'm working right over it. Because they're light enough to. Like right here in that nose. That pencil line's gone, then when I shade. No, pencil. Good. Oh, yeah. I bet. You can draw them in your sleep. I could draw them in my sleep. I could do the Grinch in my sleep. So if you look now, I'm hitting that edge. Now it doesn't even look like I masked it. And that's why I did the background first. Yeah, remember, if you don't like something, it's really easy to take an eraser stick and you can just erase something out, or you can take your electric and just erase it away. Right now I think I'm using this is the 0.18. micron, but you could easily do this lines with the Eclipse. These aren't super detailed. Yeah, no, tattoo and airbrushing, there's similarities, but there's differences. I mean, Rob's right. The reason I don't tattoo is I don't like hearing my canvases bitch and tell me their life stories, so I'm good. 2, if I make a mistake, I can do this and erase it out. Can't do it with tattoos. But you know the different, and I've taught a lot of tattoo artists airbrushing over the years. Yeah, the similarities are, you know, they're both mechanical devices you got to work with, so they have their own unique things. But airbrushes is still the only medium where there's no tactile feedback. So it's hard for anyone to get used to that because you don't feel it come back. There's no nothing. The Revolution Point 2s are great. They work awesome. Yeah, so see, I'm just working that in. Okay, I want this like a black and white with the color pop background is what I'm doing. Exactly. So in automotive, if we couldn't do skulls, we did bullet holes and texture and smoke. What is tactile feedback? I've never heard that. So when you touch something, it's tactile. So when you put a brush to a surface, you know, you actually feel the drag and the contact back in your hand, and the brush touches it and reacts to it. When you tattoo, same thing. When you use watercolor, same thing. When you pinstripe, same thing. You can pull, and there's feedback to the surface. With an airbrush, you don't feel anything back through the brush or your fingers, what it's doing to the surface. You know, tactile meaning it's, you know, touch. This is going to be like a rip in the hat. So I'm going to make that a hole. I believe Dawn has got these panels. Yeah, like, and it just comes with feel, meaning you have to watch what it's doing, and eventually your muscle memory set in that your finger just knows what to do. So when I want these little lines, I'm watch how much my finger moves. So I'm going to pull the trigger and then move. So nothing, right? Now watch. That's about as much as I'm pulling. That's it. That little boop, 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 boop. Practice these dagger strokes and feel that line, what it takes to do these little strokes versus larger ones. Try different distances and now you'll see that same feedback. So, like for this, I can take my stencil. If I want to do a shadow just under that, it's easy enough just to use my pocket graphics. Just do that, and I can also, we'll cast a little hard shadow like that. With it. We'll do another one down here. We got little stitches here. Lindsay gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Lindsay. So if you guys aren't members, this is the time to do it. You'll get 25% all my digital downloads of McKay Fine Art. .com, all the projects, all the vector downloads, you get 25% off if you're a member. The memberships are great. It's just, you know, I find memberships here so much easier than doing it on Patreon and then having a link back. Because I do the same stuff that I would do on Patreon, so I just never really bothered with the Patreon. I've still been debating if it would be worth it to also do that. Or if I should do a Discord, but I don't know if many of us even use a Discord. I don't even know if there's an Airbrush Discord channel. Maybe it's not a bad idea. I don't know. Would anyone go on Discord for airbrushing advice? Does anyone here use it? How many of you use Discord or Reddit for anything? Just curious. Show of hands. So it's not bad for the first hour. Through the background, through all that stuff. Now it's just freehand time. And paint a fun image. I'm on it with pen markers. Yeah, it's like I know a lot of people use Discord for certain things, but I don't even know what Discord is. That's kind of, yeah. I use Reddit quite often. I've never looked at Reddit for airbrush advice, ever. So I don't even know what's on there. I should probably look. Oof, didn't like that. Went a little too much on there. It wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't what I wanted. But I'm active on that. Huh. I'll have to check it out. I haven't. Don, if you could, send me some links to any of the threads. I'd like to just kind of find it and maybe see if that's something I should get more involved in. Nice. Okay, this is the fun part. Now this is no plotter, so when you do teeth here, this you just gotta do it. So what I recommend is get that paint flowing. Once you know those daggers are flowing just right, go in for the teeth, get them done. Donna, we gotta plan another class. I know the next thing I got, like I said, I got Adepticon in March that we're doing. So if anyone's into tabletop gaming, teeth, exactly. Teeth. Little up dagger strokes between each tooth really goes a long way. A little extra dark at the top, the socket, really helps. Also, pocket graphics works really good because you can get in these teeth like this, or you want to get in the sockets. There's a bunch of little pieces you can kind of get in and just, if you want to crisp things out and you're struggling, you can usually find an edge that'll help like that. Make sure this grin is just right. Starting to get that Grinchy feel. Now this is definitely something you can't do in 2 minutes, like I did Grinch's back in the day. But this on a t-shirt, I would jack the pressure up to 60 psi, and I could probably do this same design in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes on a shirt. You know, it'd be a little bit more t-shirty, but Everest, I'm waiting. I don't know what Chipper Briners at America. All I know. Cool, man. Welcome. Dan, what's happening? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with Discord, because I've been on it a little bit for gaming, and I know it works really well. Because I know a lot of the YouTubers that do wargaming mini painting have channels, and that's where they put a lot of their like bonus content. So what I was thinking was doing a Discord channel that was for members of this channel only, so you'd all get the invite, and then because Because the community page email thing here, it works okay. But I can't message people directly. Like someone asked me the other day, "Oh, how do I send you a picture?" Well, through YouTube, you can't. You know, there's no way to do it. So I have to give you my email address. But if members had like, you know, an easier way, I don't know. It's just something I've been considering. All right, now we're gonna go for the bottom row of teeth. Yeah, you know, either that or I would just do a private Facebook page for members only. Little daggers coming down. It's really tight to the chin here, so I'm trying to do too much. And then I gotta put a shadow because the other teeth, the upper teeth overlap. So then what I'm gonna do is I'll shade like this, and I'll shade the under the cheekbone so it radiuses the jawline, and then I'll do some erasing. I do Discord over Facebook. That's fair. That's kind of what I'm trying to gauge. Like, is it worth my time? We'll highlight these teeth a little bit. Brighten it back up. See? I love these erasers. The fact that I think I've charged these twice in the past year is amazing. Nice. See how those teeth got a little brighter than everything else? Because if I gave a little mist over this whole area and more here. Now watch, I'll bring these teeth back out. And now they'll look like pearly whites. It's a really great trick for doing teeth. See that? Just brought it right back out. The eyes too. Like if I missed over the eyes a little bit. Brighten it back up. I think I'm gonna put this lime green in these eyes at the end. I think it'll be cool. Oh yeah, I mean, Rob, the 2021 has been the game changer. I was talking to Createx about it. I've used every iteration of their reducer and paint because I've done a lot of testing with them, and this has just been the biggest leap in any of their reducers. It just does such a nice job with the paint. You know, and I'm a solvent. I came from a solvent background. Like when I was doing that hood today, that was solvent. So I've painted water-based all afternoon. I mean, solvent-based all day, and to water at night, and it's like nothing different. You know, that's saying a lot. That's why when people complain about water, I'm like, you just don't use it right. Well, you haven't used it enough to get comfortable with it, and that's fine. But it's not the paint's fault. Donna taking off. Good night, Donna. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the support. Alright, let's get the chin. Some sweet chin music. Now we're getting to the furry collar. You can use either one. So Wicked, you can get the more heavier stick for like fills. Illustration is a little bit more transparent unless you get the opaques. So they're a little silkier. And you can do more erasing techniques and things like that. So you could go either way. Yeah, gold leaf too would be cool. And we've done that on some pieces. I think Gary's got a few. I think we did that. Gary, do you have the leprechaun pieces? Whoa. Sorry about that. Yep. You know, I dismantled a PlayStation 5 controller about a year and a half ago that I was going to do a video on, and it's still sitting, taken apart because I got the lava red one and I hated it. I hated the color because it was too magenta pink, and I have yet to paint something on it. I've been meaning to do like a Fallout theme controller because I love Fallout. I still play that almost daily. So Zaz69, the depends on what model type paint you're using. If you're using a water-based acrylic, the 2021 could work well for you. I know it works well. I've used it with my Citadel paints. I've used it with Army Painter. I've used it with New Worlds. Obviously, New Worlds is manufactured with Cratex. So in a lot of cases, it will. It won't use like some of the Tamiya acrylic enamels you don't want to use it with, or the acrylic urethane. So you have to give it a test, but the 2021 should work with a lot of paints. I just don't know like specific. But I think for the most part, with most systems, you'd be fine. Alright, so that's that furry collar. Yeah, the panels aren't that bad. You just got to move a little more. So if you practice on paper towels or even paper like this, That'll give you the buffer to kind of figure out. You just gotta move. You can't stay in one place too long or you'll spider like that. But if you move, you don't have to move super fast. You'll be fine. You just don't get it too wet. If you get it too wet too fast, that's where it starts, you know, giving you like blowouts and things like that. So it should work with all those. I have all those paints as well. I have Citadel, Pro Krill. I got a couple of Pro Krill. If I go, let me switch up here to my 3/4. If I zoom out here, you'll see I got my New Worlds up here. I have my Citadel there in the draw, and then my Createx is on the, as Miniac described it, was the Wheel of Death, which is up there. That's the spinning wheel. So, and then I have some Vallejo pigments on that side. How many paints do I have? I'm just gonna say all of them. So I have every Createx line and color. I have probably almost all the Citadel. I have all the New Worlds. Then I have all the automotive line, like House of Color. I have the Createx side of that. I have some Ace of Shades. I have a little PPG. I have a lot of paint. I have some Army Painter. A few colors. Mission Model. So, yeah, I got a lot. I've worked with a bunch of paint companies over the years too, and some R&D, or they've sent me for testing. I have some really oddball brands as well. A lot of them are very similar to each other. And believe it or not, a lot of paints aren't actually made by the paint company themselves. They're just a branding. They're all manufactured by like a co-packer, or like Createx manufacturers. I think it was Mission, or one of the like army paint type company, not Army Painter, but military type modeling. They used to make it. The RC Paint Pro something. That's Createx. Chroma Air from Spray Gunner is Createx. New Worlds is Createx based. You have the same. Oh yeah, yeah. That's where we have a lot of the automotive type solvents and stuff there as well. So. Those don't get used in here, ever. Because this recording studio is in my house. So I'm not using those in here. Yeah, I've painted a bunch in my day. I've done my own. I've done some customer stuff. Years back, I did the big one, fifth scale stuff for my uncle. I can honestly say, and I'm going to say almost with this caveat, I painted on almost every surface possible. From human skin, wood, metal, glass, every type of metal. Precious metals included. I don't know. Name a metal. I'll see if... Honey, thank you. If I don't talk to you before, then have a Merry Christmas. Yeah. Name a surface. See if I paint it. Bristol's cool. I like your wheel. The Wheel of Death. Yeah. Those are great, man. Those 3 ink keepers work amazing. I had some guy on my video on it here. Like, that doesn't work. It's way too slow to mix paint. I'm like, dude, it's just gravity. The paint mixes after about 5 minutes. That paint's all mixed. It's just like a mixing bank on a body shop. Oh, painted on copper. Yep. A couple months ago, actually, and I painted copper panels here on the channel. I think Gary's got like couple copper panels, I think. Or at least one. What are we talking about? Bristol? Yeah. Yeah, Bristol board is actually really good for airbrushing on. You know what else is good is vellum. Vellum's pretty pricey though, but it's really good to paint on. Yeah, do you have a copper panel from the, like, I remember at the World of Wheels years ago, I did a pirate one. I did a couple. Glass, oh yeah, tons of glass work. I used to work with a fellow painter years back. We used to do all the window painting for various stores for the holiday season, Dunkin' Donuts, all that stuff. We used to paint 10 locations a day on glass. I painted on vehicle glass too with like a one-shot base and then urethane airbrush work on top. It lasts quite a long time. Oh, I got a little vortexy guy over here, like one of those guys. I use those here and there, the vortex mixer. But like usually when I'm about to like do a panel and I'm not sure on the colors, I just turn the Wheel of Death on, mix up all the colors. It's actually good for the paint too, because they all get mixed. You know, and they don't sit for months and months and settle to the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to have to do another copper panel. I've done a few in the day, back in the day. I'm really digging this guy. This guy's cool. Yeah, I've done a few fire trucks, mostly in vinyl though. They don't want them painted anymore. They don't want to pay for them in paint. So I do all the fire trucks in a vinyl lettering with the imitation gold. I do my towns, my older towns, the one I used to live in. I do all their police cruisers every year, or a couple times a year, depending on when they get new ones. I actually designed the cruisers and how they look. Little skull button on his coat. The only items I haven't really painted is a helicopter and a jet, like a plane. I've done almost every other type of vehicle. TNTs are steel. TNT panels are steel, powder coated, and then a lot of his ground ones are candied over. The what's it called? Panel jammers are steel, also powder coated or enamel coated. Most of the panels are steel. Steel is a lot cheaper to work with than aluminum for stuff like that, so usually they're steel. Add a little extra fuzz. Looking cool. I went to this cool store. I found an oddities store, actually one town over from me, that I never knew was there till recent. And man, I went in the store. They have so many cool skulls, actual skulls in there, including they had 2 full human skulls. No. 2 full human skeletons and like 3 other skulls. They had giraffe skulls, a whole bunch of stuff. Really cool. It was like $400. It was a wild boar skull, really clean too. And I'm like, that would be cool to have here in the shop, in the studio. Okay, 9:30. I think we can wrap this up in a half an hour. Let's get these hands roughed in. Get these lines in. I should have put Kaylee back on tonight. She's home from college. Maybe if we do a feed next week. I think I should do one next week. Depends if I get all my Christmas stuff done. Gotta finish the house ready for the family. Yeah, so they had like 2 human skulls and 2 full skeletons. Which means they've had them a long time, because you can't get them anymore unless you're a medical training facility, like a license. But you used to be able to get them back in the day for like artistic purposes and things like that. you still have to register like care or custody them, but now they don't. I don't think they allow you to take them anymore unless it's like at a medical university or something. Oh, the video did just get choppy. Huh. Just as I said, we're doing good, time-wise. Let me go check the stream. Health. Let's see what we got going on. Good here. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go and change. I'm just gonna do a speed check. Alright, let's see. Hopefully now it gets better. Nope. Now it looks like it's... Whoa. Well, good thing this is recording on my end. So I have the good footage to finish off if this dies. Man, that's really weird. We were doing so well. Alright, maybe we're good now. Let's see. Depending on the delay. I have a little delay. Okay, good. I just switched over to my other router. See if that helps. Good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know the place that I was at, they said they used to have bear skulls, but I guess in Massachusetts you're not allowed to collect or own them anymore. Cool. I was afraid I was going to lose the feed just after I said the feed was doing good. Hopefully we stay stable for the next 25 minutes. And we'll get this thing wrapped up and done here. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. Let's go to a side by side. Oops. Oh, no, there we go. Oof, eyes are getting tired. I think I've freehanded for about at least 8 hours today. Buying from only 14 artists. Wrist and arm bones coming down. So all of us appreciate your collecting. You know what? I don't like that I missed this. Again, this is why I don't do tattoos. You can't do that with a tattoo. Right, Rob? Now, Rob, this would make a cool tattoo. I want to see you tattoo this version instead of trying to paint it. Because that'd be cool. And let's go for some. So all that was done with barely using any paint at all. Now I'm going to go back to the darker version. It would be a cool tattoo. So now I'm going in with the near black version of the same color I've been working with. And I'm going to hit kind of the darkest areas for now. Really kind of punch that out. And we'll do some highlighting. And we will call this puppy done. And then I can work this one with the snowman painting, Gary. And get these both off to you next week. So, just by doing this, making that more solid, I'll shadow into here more. Kind of punch that a little bit darker there. Kind of pushes that back. And just I'll play around with this now. We'll do it here. So Rob, you got any clients that are Christmassy? I'd love to see this one done with a tat. It'd be cool. Yeah, definitely hit that like button. Share it, subscribe it. Comment on the post, that helps a lot on the algorithm. Like the thread, cool. If you want, you can screenshot. Well, that's not a very good screenshot, but you can get the drawing with that, or I can mail it to you, email it to you, if you want the higher res. Candy over here, meaning him? Nah. I don't think. I kind of dig the black white. If you candy over, I think he's just going to get to kind of lose its charm. Get some highlighting going on. It's one of those things, if I were to go color him too much... Oh, I'm going to do the eyes. I'm going to make the eyes glow like that green. If I green his face, then I'm going to want to red the hat, and then I might as well red this, and then it kind of turns into almost a full color. Alright, so I'm going to put some white in here. I'm going to put a little bit of red because I want it a little pinkish. And actually, I'm going to do just a little yellow so it's like a peachish color. Thank you, Mendes, popping in. Yeah, we're wrapping up here the next 10 minutes and this thing is done. And I'm going to bed. Because I have to get up at 7 in the morning and go work on that Cobra hood. I'm trying to finish it. Yeah, that's kind of thing. That just that little red pop. Because now I'm going to hit it with some highlights. I made candy over the apple a little bit, but the flat boring part. That's funny. Well, Rob, that's Canada. The cold, snowy part. That's the entire country. Especially this time of year. You don't have any warm parts of your country right now. Sorry. Yeah, look kind of cool. Pocket graphics always find the right curve. Doesn't mean it's warm. I was out with a t-shirt on today here. It was in the 40s. It's not warm. Right? Like, I'm in the Northeast, so it's cold here. But I could take a 2-hour flight to Florida, where it's 80. You could take a 2-hour flight north, and it would be minus 80. Oh yeah, that's like up in like Buffalo, New York, and Syracuse. They just get demolished. Absolutely demolished this time of year. Yeah, those green eyes are cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, the only areas of our country that really get it, you get it in Michigan, New York. I'm sure Ohio gets it at times, but New York gets it really bad. Thanks, man. We're just wrapping it up now. It's almost time to put it to bed. And I think that wraps it up. We'll do some extra little highlighting with the eraser. Maybe we'll do a couple of snow pieces of snow. Yep, just a couple little effects. Make them bright. And I think that's going to be it. Not too shabby for 2 hours from start to finish. And considering I sketched this, I got home at 5 from doing that car and sketched it then. That's a pretty successful evening, I would think. Bob, have a good one. You are very welcome. Thanks for popping in. Make sure you comment, share, all that fun stuff. And I want to thank everyone for popping in. That is the finished product right here. Done. Ready for clear. Going to its home. Last one for Christmas. Like I said, I'll probably do a feed next week as well. Depends on how my weeks goes. I'll let you guys know that by like Monday or Tuesday. And hope everyone has a happy and safe weekend. Get your shopping done. Get all your stuff out of the way. Finish out the year strong. And we're going to start getting ready for next year, 2025. Got a lot more planned. Some things I wanted to do this year that are going to get done next year. We're going to make those happen. So thanks for supporting the channel. Thank all my Down Dirty Tricksters. Remember, Lindsay gifted 5 memberships, so if you're not a member yet, snag one of those 5 memberships and support the channel and get some discounts off McKayFineArt.com. That would be this right here. Go there. That's where all my downloads are from all past videos and things like that and patterns and all that stuff. So if you want 25% off, now's the time. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you for popping in. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for support. See you later. If I don't see any of you, if you don't make it, Merry Christmas. See ya.